Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. The Independent National Electoral Commission received the petition seeking the recall process of suspended Senator Natasha the Kogi Central Senator. The petition was submitted and received by the Commission's Secretary, Rose Oriaro Anthony. What are your thoughts on this? The news coming out from the Kogi Central recall that the Senate we all know the Senate has suspended her before, and now the information is that this suspended senator is now being recalled from the National Assembly. We'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Join the conversation by calling us on 020-1635-2013 or 090-2416-3440. This, drama with Natasha seems like a season movie. Like we've had first season was when the drama happened with her being moved from her seat, and then there was like this ruckus that happened. The second season was when...
The first season was nightclub.
It's true. They said the first season was nightclub.
That's season 1.
The second season was from the movement on the National Assembly. Third season was on television where she accused the Senate President of sexual harassment. Then we went to the court. Then we went to came back and were suspended. Then we took the case to the international level, and now we are being recalled. Different seasons, and people are asking, is this fight really for, what's this fight really about? Is it the right approach to deal with the situation? Are we over, are we not silencing the voice of someone that has come out? Or like Nyma was saying before we went to the break, that is it so easy who is bankrolling this recall? There are many sides to this story that would love us to dig into. So we'd like to hear from you. Please call the numbers on your screen, or you can tweet to us, hashtag your view on TVC, so we can hear from you. Okay, YK, I want to start with you. We've discussed this a few times. We discussed it before the case went to court. We discussed after court, but now it has taken a new dimension. She's been recalled. They've gotten 250,000 people to sign. They've submitted itself.
They need half, and they had 580,000, so they haven't really got the half yet. They are short of like 10,000 or so, or 20,000, and it doesn't matter. The point is, they are even short of like 80,000, Calculate it for me. Anyway, that's not even what I'm about to say. I think my disappointment was the spokesperson for the people that went to recall her was a woman. I would hope that before you recall a senator like that, you would do your due diligence. From the way I see it, they haven't done their due diligence. They've just been told to go and recall this senator. And you see, it's about the institution. They're so...
When you did that, this doesn't mean money.
Money conscious.
It's just about the power.
Okay.
Now, she has gone against them, so they are using that one to show her that she's a fly.
It's not really about the case anymore.
It's not about the case. It's
you dare to speak against the system.
We will show you who we are. That's how it might not be so. This is all alleged, because I remember when they first started this recall, some people alleged that they told them to come for empowerment. It's now that they realize, but they told them to come with their voters card and their NIN number for empowerment. So when they got there, some people were wise enough to ask questions that, come, what are we signing? Then they now realized it was... So
they had no idea what they were signing.
They did not have any idea. They were on TV. I watched them. There are even videos of them.
INEC accept such a those set of signatures when you know that
that's what Allah do.
Because if you tell me I'll give you 500 naira, sign, and I sign, but I don't know what I signed, should INEC accept such signature that has been compiled together by people just because it is a signature?
No, it's not INEC's business. It's the party's business to go to court to say these signatures were fictitiously done and bring evidence. So if you have that video, carry them. Go and show it.
Which party is she from?
PDP. And this is where yesterday Honorable Akialabi was saying that one of the bills he was proposing is party replacement. But the way it is now, when there's a vacancy, INEC now has to do a new election. And we know who the beneficiaries of it is. As it is now, it is with carefulness that I'm going to say this on the show. The former governor of Kogi State is from Kogi Central. Same place as her. So, because a recall is not cheap, they decided, they tried to recall Senator Dino Melaye back then. He didn't go anywhere because
they don't have the money to back all
a
this.
recall is not a cheap process. It is not. To get that 250,000 votes.
So if Natasha is actually recalled, the next person will be...
Signed petition will first of all be given to INEC to notify INEC of the intention of the constituency's intention to recall their representative. That's the first process. And that process is what we have seen the video circulating now. That is in one parlor, that they are just signing. Probably they've gotten names and INEC card numbers from people because they made people queue for another purpose, and then they're helping them to sign.
To document.
So they will get those 50% constituent members signed signatures for a petition to INEC. A recall is not cheap. Somebody is bankrolling it. I say that one with my full chest. But whether they say they are not bankrolling them, or that Kogi Central people decided to leave their business, their productive businesses, to come and queue
to sign.
That's another matter. If you see 2-3 people that they're doing videos, ask them. Somebody have told them what to say. That's my personal belief, and I wait for somebody to come and convince me. Otherwise. Because the senator in question, before her suspension, nothing else happened. She represented her people very many videos of what she's done. So suddenly she's suspended, and a woman is leading the team saying that she's been an embarrassment to them at in Kogi Central. I don't understand what is happening. Once his name was suspended in this assembly, no, not this assembly.
The previous one, no.
The previous assembly suspended the senator who talked about.
Twitter Senator Shehu.
Yeah, no, not Shehu Sani. Shehu Sani was suspended. Did you see recall? Undume was suspended. Did you see a recall? There was this one that was suspended recently.
Senator Ningi.
He was Ningi that was suspended.
For budget padding.
He talked about budget padding, thanks. Nothing happened. Natasha was suspended.
So generally, suspension seems to be following when they speak up against the system.
That's the way all the
people suspended now.
When you speak
it's not
up,
for any, not corruption. It is speaking against the system.
Agege, when he was suspended, was the one who went to court to get the court to put a precedent that the House cannot suspend a representative of a people beyond a certain number of days. I'm trying to remember. I think beyond 2 weeks. So this kind of suspension that Natasha has already is against the precedents established. I know Agege then, before he even became an official of the Assembly of the Senate, had this issue where he was suspended for a conduct at the time. And he went to court saying that it means that you have disenfranchised and disrepresented these people in the kind of democracy we run. The court established that beyond 2 weeks, any suspension is futile. This woman was suspended for 6 months, been indefinitely by this house. And her people are now doing a recall as if they don't know that this is a temporary thing. This is politics playing. That's me. That's what I'm just trying to say.
Mafia's at work.
Dami, do you believe that this is pure politics, and how do you think that people should address the current drama? Because there are those that pro-Natasha, Senator Natasha, and against Senator Natasha, but through all of that,
I'm not even for Natasha. I'm saying
neutral.
I'm saying that even though she's lying, the one we are saying first is that the politics I explained, we should remove the hard. What we are doing now is that, whether it's Natasha,
to hear
Dami.
Okay, I think for me, Nigeria already looks to me in the few number of years I've spent growing up. Nigeria looks to me like a woman who has framed her pregnancy and goes to the hospital and speaks to a doctor that she wants to go into the delivery room. What are you going to give birth to? What's there? If the doctor does not know that there's no pregnancy there, at least you framing it, you know that there's nothing there. So for me, it feels like we always go in circles, and that's Nigeria. Because now I was trying to make a hold of, okay, what happened? It was first gross misconduct into sexual harassment, now into recall. How did we get here in less than a month? And like the whole thing has, but I understand that playing politics in Nigeria, you need to have more than a crocodile skin to be able to probably adapt, because it still works that if you cannot beat them, you join them. Because there's no assurance that you can get them beaten. So if you are not ready to bow to that pressure,
not only will they beat you,
you will change address. As in, you will change you know, when you permanently change address, people have changed address
just
and
because
everything
of political drama.
Atibe Babarele, Daddy has finally gone. But what made Daddy to go is what remains under the covers. And I really fear for her altogether as well, because sometimes you're like, is it really a fight that she can finish, that she can win? And even looking at the fact that the women folk, the people who should vehemently stand with her,
are being used
against her. Simply because
I think that is my real problem, because we are in the International Women's Month. This is happening in International Women's Month. The spokesperson was a woman inside the International Women's Month. Come on.
So YK, for me, how do you, because for me, I'm looking at this and we've already established it's not about for or against. It's about what seems to be like an injustice that is being meted out. So legitimately, she has disobeyed the rule of the floor. She's been suspended. Should the suspension be a 6-month suspension?
No.
After that, should the conversation then move to a case of she's being recalled? Because I'm looking at it and saying some people have genuinely feel like Natasha own is too much. If somebody is extra, should this be the way we deal with that extraness? Are we not seeing the very visible political handwriting on the wall that Nyma highlighted? And how do you build a democracy that is strong when we are facing this kind of challenge? Oh, we have Ade from London. Let me hear Ade's opinion. I really would love to hear from Nigerians in Nigeria, but let's take Ade from London. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. You hold on for 30 minutes.
We're so sorry for keeping you waiting, but you're live right now.
It's all right. My own point is this. I want to advise the husband that he should call his wife. He should make sure this thing, end now. Because if you listen to the statement Natasha gave out, that they sent 500 million to her account and she's been paying along for 1 year, that's a consent. If you go to court, you can't win the case. Why don't you report immediately? For 1 year, you get 500 million. Do this, do that. You say you are playing along. By playing along, who did you report to? You did that 1 year. Yes, I know everything is true that sexual harassment. You can't win the case because you collect money. Once you think you collect money, even if it's UK, that's the end of the case because you say you play along. So much don't disgrace other women. You don't have a good case. You should just calm down, apologize for your rude behavior in the Senate, and then go back to the Senate. That's all. Because she has already killed her case by that statement alone. How can I give 500 million to somebody and you take my money and you say you are playing along with me? That's the consent. You should have cried out immediately and report to the FCC. And you kept that for 1 year. Now you are crying out. The case is dead on arrival. God bless Nigeria.
I hear you, but we still haven't discussed how to resolve. She was of the opinion that she already said she's not apologizing anyway, based on what, it's not an apology thing anymore. I think we've already passed that.
Every other senator, I don't think Ndume did any apology.
And they were not
I don't
recalled.
think he did any apology.
This is us assuming that the recall has to do with her suspension.
Yes, no, that's what they said. The recall is because of her suspension. Two of those spokespersons have said that she's been suspended. You think she died? In the video that I saw in an interview, someone said she's been suspended and we cannot be without a representative. I'm like,
so what they should be fighting for?
The period of time that you want to use to do this
referendum, the Senate cannot
should put her
suspend her for 6 months. It's too long. That's what they should be fighting for. But what they are fighting for is to remove her completely.
And because the woman who spoke, I'm afraid that allegedly she works with the previous governor of Kogi State. So it's crystal clear. Like Nyma said, that obviously somebody is bankrolling. So if we're even talking about women, yes, men can also stand up for women. But in this case, it's like power have passed power, water have passed Gary, and people want to be careful in the way they meddle into this situation. So everybody's just trying to remove themselves from the picture.
Senate one of the senior political orders of the Senate, I will not mention Senator, when they read his reports that time, they read it. He said that she was not suspended for the sexual assault allegation or petition. She was suspended for the unruly behavior on the floor of the Senate, disregarding the rules of the Senate. Now she first disregard rules of Senate because 6 months.
Akpabio himself disregard rules of Senate.
Yes, if it is this same, that's the thing. If it is that disregard for the rules of the Senate, we can count precedents that did not go on 6 months suspension.
So if that's like it's beyond.
You reach her turn now. They use beyond rock, kill, break.
Let me take the call from Gogadada. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Yes, let's hear. We need the volume to be higher. Oh, we lost the caller. So, what we're dealing with?
Judge Fidelis is saying that Ndume sent an apology to the House. I'll go and Google it. Okay.
So, what we're discussing now is the fact that she's been suspended for 6 months. Her people feel they're not being represented, so they issued a recall. Not that they didn't fight for her to come back. They're not asking. There was no protest for her to come back. In most cases, when conversations regarding politics takes place, there's always somebody is funding this process. Or if there's a protest, somebody was funding it. If there's a recall, somebody was funding it. If there is even this case of the drama that happened within the State Assembly, I mean the House, Senate, the chambers, there was conversation of something happened behind the scene. As citizens, we don't know what happened behind the scene. Our concern is, are we getting represented? Is there justice being seen to be done? What would justice look like for you, Dami?
Justice for me will look like fair hearing. Because in all of this, it's been one side and the other side. There's no common ground yet. I believe that she was voted for. I remember during her election period too, and different things that she faced, including her constituent road being dogged overnight. She had an accident. So she got safe. She's tough.
She is actually.
If some people would have not even witnessed maybe 2-3 incidents, near-death incidents, colossal incidents, they would have given up. So I think that strength is what even the Kogi people should appreciate. But would you appreciate strength where there is hunger, active hunger in place? This hunger is not passive. It is an active one. Because you don't even know where your next meal is coming from. If the devil hands a lot of people a fork at his table, they will jump at it, regardless of maybe they are even the next meal to be feasted upon. And we know this Nigeria, like my dad will say, Nigeria is, let me use the word he uses, he says Nigeria is sometimes Operation Kid the Killer. Because you that they have sent on an errand to do something, they will send somebody next after you. So that's why I said we go in circles. It would have been appreciated by Nigerians if she was allowed to express herself, allowed fair hearing, then now decide. Because the clarification network have joined together. Harassment have joined with misconduct. So we don't even know how to sieve the wheat from the chaff. Because if that first precedence of nightclub didn't happen, that was quite a condescending statement. You could have used to, oh, we are not in the church, oh, we are not. But the nightclub showed that there is more to it than meets the eye. Just naturally.
Let me take this call. Debbie has called in from Abuja. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Doctor and the ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Can we have volume?
Yeah, thank you for bringing this up. Number one, I'm speaking as a former legislator.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want us to know one thing. There's a Yoruba adage, I'm a Yoruba person, that you know the beginning of a war, you will not know the end. So you pick your war. You pick your battle. The one you think you can win. You have a case against the Senate president, fine, allegedly. You pick the correct way of fighting me. I just spoke from London now because I've been following. What she did against the institution that she belonged to was totally wrong. Distinguished Senator Akpabio, yeah, as a person, he might be your friend, he might be your colleague, he might be your husband's friend. But once he's seated on that seat as the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you don't go against the rules of the House. You cannot speak. I think that was the genesis, allegedly. You cannot speak from that. Carry your bag. Respect your constituents that voted for you. Because you need to move a motion on their behalf that day. You carry your bag, sit on where they ask you to speak from. You speak from that place, you present your constituent petition or motion, something that can favor them. Then after that, you return back to where you think you want to return to. But you don't deny your constituent the presentation of your motion that day. That was the beginning of our error. And as a female, I don't want to be sentimental, I don't want to be biased, I don't want to, because we are women, because I won't go into that route. She has made a mistake. As a leader, as a female, when you are outside, you must comport yourself. You must conduct yourself. If men are doing it, I heard Nyma saying that Indume has done it, this has done it. We must make a difference because we are not many there.
I hear you, Madam Debbie. Thank you so much for your contribution. I feel really...
I didn't hear what she said.
She said she should have just moved the seat. She should move her motion and then go back and complain about it.
Really,
enough, we're going to have to round off. But if this happens,
let me say
we can go back and forth and argue what is right or wrong concerning the matter. But when we finish this, if she's recalled, we drop from being the number of women in the assembly. So we can fight ourselves and say, she didn't represent us well. A woman, I'm impartial. I'm a woman, but I will not support women. Long and short is -1 in the Senate now.
So,
if she leaves, it is -1. It is still us, whether we like it or not.
So
we agree or not.
I agree with Madam Debbie that, you know, when you're busy at work, you don't get distracted. She should have gone to the seat where she was assigned and faced the business of representing the people of Kogi Central. That I agree with. But this has already happened. I also think that she should not have tested her popularity at this time because she fought so hard to get this seat. You saw what she went through at the election. It was a battle of life and death for her to get this seat. She should not have, you know, sometimes when we are looking at things and some people are weighing the pros and cons and thinking life is not all about rainbows and butterflies. It is sometimes about compromise. She should have, you know, balanced things. That's a full, wholesome politician. It's not because you have stopped at that time to give way that you have become the weaker vessel. You have taken time. It has happened already. That's for her. If I were to talk to her privately, this is what I would be saying to her. But this has happened already. What are we gathering? What are we supporting? Either her or the
I'm saying that if something has happened, we are trying to resolve. If the resolution would make us -1 woman in the Senate, I will not support that resolution. And right now, the bickering among, we're just blindly supporting a woman, what she did is wrong. Everything that must be done to ensure that seat remains with a woman is what we must do. Lagos State had a female speaker. It did not last how many days, the shortest ever.
42. I'll be 49.
So we know that as women, we cannot afford to have us not support us. Not in the month of March. So there are comments saying, women supporting, that's not true. We must remind ourselves to keep our eye on the ball. We cannot get one woman into a leadership position and fight ourselves and say, she did not do well. If she did not do well, she's our woman. Let her still be there. At the end of the day, we would resolve the issue and discuss how we feel it should be addressed. But her being pushed out like this, in this very obvious power play, is very, very, like it is like all women and are not get together. So for me, I think that we shouldn't get emotional about it, but even in a rational sense of point, we cannot afford not to discuss this.
For me, I think I'm not saying she did right by being
confrontational.
I'm neither here nor there because I can be a confrontational person as well. So I cannot
judge that part.
But okay, they suspended her. She brought up something about sexual harassment. That has not been addressed.
At all.
And now if they manage to recall her, it will never be addressed.
At all.
Akpabio said he was going to take that woman, the other lady, That accused him of sexual harassment. We have
NDDC.
not, the NDDC lady. We have still not heard. We are waiting for that case. So please bring it as so we can know that you are innocent. That one has gone. So this is like the second person accusing him. Now this one, her case will never be heard because she's going to be
silenced
completely. Then my teacher in secondary school, she's just sent me a message which I have to read out. She says, Yenny, people are hungry when they talk about Natasha. We don't believe fool. How many people did she empower in her constituency?
No, she did.
People are hungry. There is so much insecurity. Many Nigerians have been turned to beggars, and you are talking about Natasha. What are the senators doing to ameliorate the suffering of the people? And we are talking about power play.
That's a conversation for another day.
It's a conversation for another day.
We are talking about all of them. We address them all the time. Discussing one does not stop the other from being addressed as well. That's what we can take on this segment. We have a packed show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.